Hey everybody, welcome to the House of Fi. I am really excited to talk to you today. We have been on this financial independence journey now for about 4 to 5 years now. So I thought it would be a good time to kind of check in with you all and discuss some of the things that we just don't buy anymore. Now, some of these things are things that we used to buy and we no longer buy anymore. And then some of these are just by nature the things that we just don't find bring purpose into our lives. And so we have nixed them off of the list. I'm going to start with some of our catch-all things that we just don't buy. And the big thing is really trying super hard to not buy anything at full price. If there's a discount code for it, a percentage off coupon, if there's a way to get it for less, we're going to do it. That's the number one thing. The second thing is somewhat related to that, and it's something that I know that I can make for less. This can apply to food, to home decor, to anything that I can make or create myself for less. Now, I will say that there's a caveat here. If it ends up that my time ends up being worth more than what it's going to cost to build it, then I'm not going to do it. I'll give an example. I really have this headboard in mind that I want for our bedroom, and my husband was going to make it for me. But since that time, the price on wood has gone crazy ridiculous. And so it ends up being more costly for me to buy the wood and spend the time and make it than I can buy an equivalent online for. So I just simply haven't bought it yet. Now I might just wait for the price of wood to go down, or I might cave and buy it, but it's just not a huge priority for me right now. So right now we do not have a headboard, but it's one of those things that I can live without for right now, and it's not worth it for me to buy it. The third kind of catch-all is buying things on credit. We will very rarely buy something on credit or paying over time on interest. Two caveats to that is something where we know that we can get the cashback bonuses on our credit card, and where we know that we can pay it off really cheaply. Here's a really good example for that. This tattoo right here that I have, I just got it very recently. It was a pretty penny, but I put that on our credit card because I knew how much it was going to cost and I wanted to get the cash back rewards on it. We still paid cash for it, but we put it on the credit card first and then paid off the credit card. This next kind of category of items would be things that I would call big ticket items. We do not buy cars brand new. Cars depreciate the moment that you get them off of the lot, and oftentimes you can buy a car that is just as good, that's maybe a year, 2, 3 older, where it's still going to be running really great. It's going to look nice. It's going to have the bells and whistles. It's just not going to cost those thousands of dollars more. We have 3 cars in our household. Actually 4 vehicles total, 3 cars, 1 motorcycle. They're all paid for. They're all a little bit older, but all still run really well. We get them serviced regularly to prolong their life. Let me just pause there and stop just for a second. Just because we want to save money and spend less does not mean that we deprive ourselves. We go for the things that will bring us joy, will bring us fulfillment, and make us happy. And we really think about those purchases and find a way to do it without doing it on credit or spending full price on it. Soapbox done. The second thing in this kind of big ticket item area is new phones. I am recording! We will use the phones that we have until they are no longer functioning or are damaged or just aren't what we need any longer. And along the same lines with that is new technology. That's not to say that we don't like technology. We do like technology. We like it a lot. But again, just like with everything else, just because something is new and exciting and has all these just cool features and stuff isn't enough for us to just go out and buy it just so that we can have it. If it's something that we've really thought about and we really want, and it's something that we can use use and is practical, or we can find a way to maybe expense it as a business expense, something like that, we're not just going to go out and buy it. We're going to make a plan to get it as cheaply as possible. So some of the items that we don't buy for our household are things like cable TV. This is getting a little bit harder now that every single streaming service has, one, increased their prices ridiculously, but now that there's so many out there, not one just has everything that you want. The other thing that we used to do, which they're getting smart about, is sharing an account like a Hulu or a Netflix with other family members. They know where that signal is coming from. So a couple of the companies have figured out a way to not allow that, where you have to change your setting to where your home setting is. So that has cut into us being able to reduce those costs as much as we used to. It is still cheaper for us to pay for multiple streaming services plus internet than it was to either go with a satellite or cable. We're still saving about $60 to $80 a month by just paying for the streaming services. But I think at some point that is going to get harder and harder to do, and so we'll have to reevaluate at some point. Home decor and seasonal decor. Now, that's not to say that I don't like my house to look nice. You can see in the background, like, I love my little bedroom decor that we got up there, but I did not pay full price for any of that. I got it all on sale and at a discount store. And then one of the other things that we don't buy for our household is toys. Now, with 6 kids, 4 of them being boys under 11 years old, you might be thinking, well, what on earth, do your kids have toys? Yes, they have toys. We just don't buy them anything and everything that they want. We don't pick up a toy every time we go to the store. They don't go to Walmart with me. Otherwise, they would ask for things all the time. We do keep in mind the things that they want, and we save that for either birthdays or Christmas. And honestly, with the amount of family that they have, their aunties and sisters and brother and uncles and grandpas, they get them the bulk of their toys. We just don't simply have to do that. And so when we do buy things for the boys, it's either because it's something that they really, really wanted and we've planned for, or it's something that maybe another family didn't get for them and we'll come in and we'll get that item for a special occasion. Or if it's something that they really, really want, we'll find a way for them to work for it and get it. And that's not to say that my kids they don't want for anything, but they are very appreciative of the things that they do get. We are trying to keep them mindful of figuring out wants versus needs and the practice of saving up for things that they really, really want and feel like they can't do without. There's plenty of things that we don't buy in kind of the personal and hygiene kind of category. We don't do haircuts. All of my boys, my husband or my oldest son will cut the boys' hair. Usually that's just clippers. And for me, I maybe get my hair cut once a year. I don't blow dry my hair or do any kind of or heating or anything on that. I've got naturally curly hair, and so I really try and air dry my hair and take care of it. And so my hair is pretty healthy all the time. And so I don't really have a need for haircuts. And if I get a haircut, it's maybe once a year, sometimes even longer. But I'm not getting those regularly, nor am I coloring my hair regularly or anything like that. That might change though, now that I'm starting to get a lot of grays, but I'll probably do that myself because it hurts so much to pay someone else to do those things. It's just such a big expense. Designer handbags and wallets. There was a time that I really, really wanted to have the latest handbag, all the time. And I just don't have that want anymore. The purse that I have now, I've had for going on 2 years. It's a backpack type purse. It's completely functional. It's red. And I love it. And I just see no reason to buy the latest purses or handbags or have multiple purses at all. That's not to say that if those sorts of things bring you joy and make you feel good, that you can't get those things. Just be smart about it. Maybe get them from secondhand or from like Poshmark or something like that, where you're still getting the thing that you want, but you're just not paying full price for it. I don't go out and buy clothes every season. We are very fortunate that we live in sunny San Diego. So for most of the year, we're in summer type clothes, and it's only when it gets chilly that we're maybe gonna wear a hoodie or something like that. So we're pretty lucky about that we don't really need to have seasonal clothes. But even if we did need the seasonal clothes, I wouldn't go out and buy them every season. We are really good, especially with the 4 little boys, in that we utilize hand-me-downs quite a bit. So when friends are purging their closets and they have the past season's clothes, I'll get them and I'll box them up and I'll save them until the season hits, and then I'll bring them out, and then I'll put the past seasons in boxes and shelve those away. So we really try really, really hard to utilize hand-me-downs. The other thing that we did this past year was we went and we got jeans for all the boys at Goodwill. They were all very, very nice jeans, no holes, no nothing. They were name brands, but we spent about $5 a piece for the jeans. And the thing of it is that my boys are hard. They are hard on clothes. So it really hurts to buy them clothes when I know that they're going to come home from school and have a hole in their knee. So we really try hard not to buy brand new clothes for them. We will if we need to. But again, we're not ever paying full price. We're utilizing coupons when we can. And when we can, we are getting hand-me-downs or getting them secondhand. Makeup. As you can see, I don't wear a whole lot of makeup. I am wearing a face serum and a little bit of foundation today, as well as a lip stain, some mascara and eyeliner. This is my little makeup bag here, and that's it. That's all I have. It's got the lip stain that I've been using, the same brand, the same color for I don't know how long. I don't know what I'm going to do if Rimmel no longer makes it. But once I find something I like, I generally stick to it. I just don't like having a lot of stuff on my face. And so when I wear makeup, which I don't wear every day, but when I wear it, for like on a day like this where I'm filming, I'm wearing a glitter face serum with my foundation mixed in, so it's not heavy on my face, some lip stain, some mascara, sometimes eyeliner. And that's it. I'm not going out and buying fancy stuff. I'm just getting the stuff that I know that I'm going to use and it's not going to go to waste. I will give a slight caveat there, and that is with skincare. And I have not always been the best about my skincare, but as I've aged and now that I'm 50, I'm starting to see wrinkles. I'm starting to see a little bit of like sagging on my skin and all of that. And that's a hard thing to see as you age. I know that's maybe not a thing for everybody, at least for me. My skin is something that I do worry about. And so I do spend some money on skincare products, sunblock, moisturizer, hyaluronic serum, those sorts of things, but I'm not spending outrageous amounts. I'm really lucky in that my daughter is an esthetician, and so I do make sure to talk to her about the things that my face needs for my skin type and my age, and I try and get them for a decent price. I'm not out there spending hundreds of dollars on them. I'm finding what I need for the least expensive prices possible. All right, continuing on the personal and hygiene area, colognes and perfumes. For one, I used to wear them all the time. Gosh, in high school, I think Red and Red Door were popular then, and White Shoulders. I never wore White Shoulders. My best friend did, but needless to say, I used to wear perfume. I used to wear body sprays, and they just give me a headache now, and I just don't like them. My husband no longer wears cologne, but he always smells good. I don't know why. He just smells good. He has a smell. And he smells good, but he does it without cologne. He just smells nice. But I don't buy those either. I think it's a waste of money. At one time, I did have a bit of a shoe problem, and I used to buy shoes, particularly business shoes, high heels and that sort of thing. I used to spend quite a bit of money on those. Since I'm no longer in the professional world, I no longer am practicing in my law practice. I just don't have that need anymore. And I'm in the house almost every day. So my shoe choices are pretty much flip-flops, tennis shoes, or boots, depending on the weather and what I'm doing. And so I just don't buy shoes anymore. And if I'm going to buy a pair of shoes, it's because it's practical and it's something that I need. I probably could go and clean out my closet now and get rid of 20 to 30 pairs of shoes that I just don't wear anymore, and that probably I should get rid of. I don't know why I'm hanging on to them, but I at one time did like buying shoes. I just can't see spending the money on it anymore when I just don't go anywhere. All right, and then the last in this category, and I think that this one might get some parents in a little bit of a ruffle, and that is we don't spend money on our kids' sports. We don't have them in every single sport, every single lesson, every single musical instrument. Especially number one, we have 4 little ones. And if we were to do that, we would be paying out thousands of dollars every single season. But 2, we just don't think it is important. We just don't see the need for it, at least right now. We do have one boy in football. But again, we're not putting him in 3 different sports every single season. He is doing football. It is our first experience with him in a league. And even so, it was still just a couple $100s, and we're doing a lot of fundraising. So we're still not paying out a whole bunch for that. And then for the little ones, what we'll probably do is do maybe basketball through our local church, one of the churches in our neighborhood, where it's like $75. And that's it. We're not going to be putting them each in a couple of different things until we know it's something that they really want to invest their time and energy in. There's tons of different ways for kids to learn skills that maybe you think is important. Foreign languages, playing musical instruments. YouTube is a crazy, wonderful thing. And if there's anything that you want to learn how to do, YouTube is a great way to do it. And I think one way for our kids to kind of get well-rounded and learn these sorts of things is maybe to try it out on YouTube, see if it sticks, or try it out with friends, see if this thing sticks. And then if it's something that they're really, really showing an interest in, then that's the point where maybe you're going to be investing a little bit of money into that extracurricular for them. But as a rule, we're not out there trying to put our kids in a bunch of different extracurriculars. It's just an unnecessary expense, at least in our view. That is not to say that if you think that that is important and you get value from it, that you shouldn't do it. I'm just saying for our family, as a way to save money, we're just not going to step our toe in that pool. Our money can be put to better use in other areas. All right, so we are here in my kitchen, and I'm going to go ahead and talk about some of the things that we don't buy anymore to save us money in our kitchen. First on the list, frozen entrees or frozen dinners. Yes, they are convenient, and sometimes I understand we're all on the go, and it's so much easier to pull something out and just pop it in the oven. What I found, though, is number one, these meals don't taste as good. And number two, with just a tiny, tiny bit of pre-planning, you can cook way more delicious meals, healthy meals for your family. And it's something that we talk about on this channel quite a bit. Somewhat related to that are things that are like pre-packaged meals, like hamburger helper helper or something like that. Again, these don't taste the best, and you can make something quite similar that's going to be much more tasty and cost you pennies. If you watch our video coming up, I'm going to do a freezer and pantry clear out, and a couple of the meals that you can see up on the board back here. The stroganoff is what I'm thinking of in particular. That's something that's very similar to a hamburger helper meal, but it is so good. And all of my kids love when I cook stroganoff. And the stroganoff that I'm going to show in the video upcoming is going to be an easy stroganoff. We make it with ground turkey, and it's delicious. And every single time I make it, all of the kids eat it. Another thing that we don't buy are things like pre-cut fruits and vegetables. Yes, the convenience of it is sometimes hard to pass up on, and they're so pretty, but they're so expensive. When you break down how much something like that costs versus buying it yourself and cutting it yourself, it's triple, quadruple the price. So just for a little bit of time and a little bit of preparation, you can do these yourself or put your kids to work and have your kids do it for you. Eating out. That is not to say that we don't enjoy eating out. We absolutely do enjoy eating out when we do. We just don't do it very often. I would say at most, maybe once a month, if that, but more often it's because we've set that time aside and that expense aside for something special. We do Pizza Fridays, however, every single Friday, and that's usually takeout. But this is usually that I'm getting like Little Caesars or Domino's, and I'm getting it on a coupon, or I'm getting it, I've got free pizzas on there, or we're making the pizzas at home, we're making them homemade. So we do order pizza and we do get it as takeout, but we're not going out to eat at a restaurant. We have a big family. We have 8 people in our family. My daughter is the only one not living with us. So we have 7 at home, 7 of us all together. And that includes a big burly husband, a big, huge 19-year-old son who's just as big as his dad, and then 4 little ones who eat just as much as my 19-year-old. All 4 little boys eat just as much. And so when we go out to eat, it's at a minimum $100. Sometimes more often like $200 or $300. And we just can't do that. That's ridiculous. If we were to do that once a week, we're talking between $400 and $1,200 a month that we would be spending on that expense. And that's money that would be much better served in either our savings account or saving up for something that we would get more out of, like a really awesome family vacation. I love coffee. I have it every day, and I have about this much every single day. I love my coffee. I do not love it enough that I would go get it and buy it every single day for $5, $6 a pop. What I have decided to do instead is I bought me a little itty bitty grinder. I buy my beans whole, see, and I grind my beans up, and it is so good. It's better than any I could ever buy. And by doing that, by not spending that sometimes between $5 and $10 a day, that's just, if we're talking 5 days a week, $25 to $50 a week in just buying coffee. So yes, I think it is ridiculous when some people say stop buying the lattes if you want to be rich, but the principle is there. And this whole video is that principle. It's finding those savings where you can and then accumulating it. So yes, buying coffee every day by itself is probably not the reason that you're not saving money. However, if you take a look at 10 different items that you're spending $5 a day on or $100 a month on and add those all up, it does create big savings. And that's the point of this video. Food delivery. I just don't pay for it. It hurts me every single time I even think about it. We get Pizza Friday just about every Friday, and sometimes I am tempted to pick the delivery option, but then I look at the fee for the delivery and I look at the fee for the tip, and I just can't do it. I just can't do it. That's an extra $50 a month just in delivery fees if we're just talking Pizza Friday. So I just don't do it. Takeout drinks. I also have another vice besides my coffee, and that is Diet Pepsi. And I will say that I used to go buy maybe 2 to 3 fountain sodas a day. That's $3. If I'm talking 3 in a day, that's a lot of money. And I just don't do that anymore. I am quite a freak about the cups that I use. So I have a cup and I use it over and over and over. And when that cup is broken or trashed or whatever, I'll go and I'll get another cup. But I am buying my Diet Pepsi and keeping it in the refrigerator outside and pouring my own drink. In that vein, we don't go and buy out other takeout drinks like teas or energy drinks or smoothies or anything like that. We'll buy that at home. Juice for the kids. I have never bought juice for my kids. And here's the reason why. When I do, it's gone. It's gone in one setting. It's gone. And then I have to go out and buy more. And I just can't do it anymore. So we just don't buy it. If the kids are thirsty, they drink water. And on a very rare occasion, we maybe will buy them a juice box here and there, but it's definitely a treat. And it's not something that we buy regularly. They go through it too quickly, and it just doesn't make sense for us to buy juice. Bottled water. We do not buy bottled water. We refill these 5-gallon jugs once a week. It's my 19-year-old's chore. He knows that a couple times a week he's running out and spending the $5 to $6 on getting the water, and we're putting it in our cooler. We got a cooler off of OfferUp for less than $50. We sanitized it, cleaned it out. It's really a great one. It's one of those bottom loader ones. Saves us a fortune, and it's better for the environment. We all just use our flasks, and same thing with the kids. If they want water, they're either getting it out of the refrigerator where it's filtered or out of our water dispenser. And finally, the last thing that I don't or that we don't buy for our kitchen are all of the latest fads and gadgets. We've got a few appliances that we've tried out, but for the most part, almost, I would say 90% of the things that we have in our kitchen are things that have been gifts. And so if there is something that I know that I really, really want, I'll put it on a list for Christmas or birthday or whatever. But I'm not going out and buying it just because I want it. And if it is something that I really, really want, I'm finding a way to get it at a discount. And the prime example of that is an air fryer. We did have a little itty bitty air fryer, and I found that we just don't use it. The basket is too small. It doesn't feed our family. So what I wanted was a large capacity air fryer. So I waited till they went on sale at Kohl's. I waited until I had a coupon, and I waited until I had some Kohl's cash. And so I got it at a very deep discount. It's not about being stingy and not getting the things that you want or that will bring you a little bit of happiness. It's about being smart. And if there's a way to get it for less, you're doing it. All right, guys. Well, I hope that these have given you some ideas and got your brains ticking about ways that you can add up all these little expenses here and create it into a nice big chunk that you can put to work for you, either in your debt payoff or your savings, or for spending for that big thing that you want to do out there that will bring you a lot of happiness, like an awesome vacation or something like that. Come back next week. If you haven't subscribed, would you please do so and ring that notifications bell so you get notified when we have new videos. I'm excited about the video coming up. I'm getting ready to prepare it. We're going to be doing a pantry and freezer clean out. The 4 meals that you see behind me, Monday through Thursday, those items are going to be made purely by whatever I have in my freezer and pantry. I'm going to substitute what I need to and do what I can with what I have. It's the end of the month, so we're trying to stretch those little dollars that we have left until the first of the month when we get paid again. So stay tuned and see what we're able to accomplish out of our freezer and pantry. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you again. Bye.